Yes, people, welcome back to the 1894 for another Erling Haaland update. We said for a long time now we would cover any Erling Haaland news or City relative news that will come out in relation to Haaland or any just big transfers in general. And now there is further developments happening. As of recently, we were a bit pessimist about Haaland, weren't we, Rebel? We felt like he was going to make his way to Real Madrid. Your man, the tic-tac guy, El Changrito, was saying that Haaland wants Real Madrid. And there was tears in my eyes. I was a bit upset, if you remember the last Haaland video. But as we expected, more developments, more things are happening. It's a real roller coaster following this Norwegian mutant around his travels of Europe. The first bit we want to speak about is from Adria Sol de Vida. I think it's from Gold, the newspaper, whoever they are, the media outlet. He says, if FC Barcelona can complete this Barca Studios, I assume that's some sort of their media or some sort of internal company they have. I don't know what that is. Already approved in the assembly, apparently, so they're going to sell it. The signing of Erling Haaland will 100% be possible. The club has been informed by La Liga that next season's FFP margin will be completely or considerably higher. So this means Barca are desperate to get this guy. They're selling their own club's assets to raise funds to buy this guy. And of course, Daniel Ek from Spotify is trying to pump cash into Barcelona as well via, was it 345 million to sponsor the shirt and the naming rights of the new camp. Quite a sad day, if you ask me, if the naming rights of the new camp go out the window just so they can fund a player. But nevertheless, my thoughts on Haaland to Barcelona are as they always were. Even when we were told that Haaland wants Barcelona, which was a development a while ago, I still felt Haaland won't go to Barcelona. I think our biggest competition in Spain was Madrid, and we will get on to Madrid in a second. But your thoughts on this Barca thing?
Really looking forward to playing Europa League away days in the Camp Spotify. That'll be great. But the main thing, I literally only thought of it there about 2 seconds ago, right, as you said it. And I was saying he might go to Barca. He's not going to want to go there if it's going to hinder his chances at Madrid in a few years. That's the only thing that's keeping me going on that front. But I don't care if they're saying that he's not in the plans. He's always in Madrid's plans, right? They're going to get Mbappe. That's no issue. That's kind of sorted. We talked about that in the stream. That's sorted. They're going to turn their eyes to Haaland. They are still the biggest opponents. Sorry, I couldn't get the fucking word out. The biggest opponents to us right now are Madrid. But PSG are going to be sniffing there too. They're going to want someone to replace Haaland to replace Mbappe, and who better than Haaland? But we're still firmly in it. I know we have a bit of news after. We're still firmly in it. I don't think we'll get him, to be honest with you. But I think Barcelona's off the cards completely because he's going to want Madrid. That's my.
I would expect that stance from you regardless. For all of you who are regular watchers here, you will know Mr. Revel does not believe transfers until the player has actually scored for us in the Etihad. Even when he signs, Revel won't believe it. Listen, I do agree with you. I still believe Real Madrid are our biggest rivals for Erling Haaland. But with recent developments suggesting, I think it's Bild are saying that Mbappe has actually agreed a deal with Real Madrid. He's going to go there. I don't think it's an actual official pre-contract, but there's an agreement in place, and he's going to earn something like 50 million a year. Now, why am I mentioning figures? Because that is the big thing for us. How much Real Madrid are going to pay Kylian Mbappe is absolutely extortionate. They're saying 850k a week. Mind-blowing money, first of all. Can any club in the world, even as big as Real Madrid, fund two players on similar wages? You would imagine Haaland, wherever he goes, will be looking for that kind of money himself. And I've seen people suggesting, some journalists suggesting, I can't source or can't credit them unfortunately at the moment off the top of my head, that Haaland will be getting around 50 million a year off City if he was to come there. So could Real Madrid fund a player who wants 50 million a year on top of what they're giving Mbappe, 850k a week, which is about 54 million a year? I don't think it's feasible. And speaking of the El Changrito guy, tic-tac guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, he is saying now Haaland is not, in block capitals, not in Real Madrid's plans, but the situation can change. So I think he's kind of gone back on himself. It was only 2 weeks ago this guy was saying that Haaland wants Madrid. Maybe that is the case. I'm sure Haaland, I said in our live stream the other night, I wouldn't blame the guy for wanting to play for Real Madrid, the Galactico club, plenty of money, and there is trophies down the road with Real Madrid, absolutely no doubt. But I think in terms of development, I would put Barcelona out the window because I think the squad they have is just not going to appeal to Erling Haaland. It's just not going to appeal. The talk of the town was that Erling Haaland won't be able to stay at Dortmund because of the offers he has on the table from trophy-winning clubs. Why would Haaland want to go to Barcelona where they're not going to win trophies based on the team they have? He may as well stay at Dortmund rather than go and play with Traore and Aubameyang and Braithwaite and these kind of players. It's not an improvement going to Barcelona right now. I'm not ruling out down the line. Obviously, of course, if he goes to Real Madrid, it is ruled out. But the things I think we have, if these things are true, what we're reading into right now, I think we have the clearest path to getting we ever had. So what do you think about this thing about Real Madrid and Mbappe and not being able to finance both players?
Legally, they can't. Legally, they can't afford to put on two. They definitely can.
I think any club in the world, no matter how big, would go bust offering contracts about those players. It's too much money.
I think that big a club, that big of a fucking brand, they'd be able to. But I think that's kind of a debate we can put into another one. But I think they would be able to fund it. But then you have to think about the contracts they have around. Like Karim Benzema's on a mental contract. Pretty sure Kroos is on a crazy one. Modric is doing a new one. They're about to sign it. They probably won't have enough money now that I think of it, because the amount of wages they already have shelled out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Like, this should be a clear one. And I just this is it's still the most likely scenario for him, which is wild. I still find it the most likely scenario for him. But they're going to turn their attention to him sooner than later, because we know Mbappe is done. I think everyone knows. You said, Bill said it. It's done. That's finished. So they're going to have to turn their heads somewhere as well. But at the same time, how are they going to fit all those players, including Benzema, including whoever else they play, Hazard? I don't know if he starts, probably doesn't, but I don't know how they're going to fit them all into the one team. It's mental to me. Like, if they end up getting him and they have to play with no Vinicius, completely scrap the Rodrigo plans they have, it could make them fall apart, funny enough, because I don't care how good they are. We've seen it with PSG. If you don't have the right players around them, like if you don't have a good midfield, if you don't have a half-decent defence, you'll fall apart, because PSG are getting knocked out of everything all of a sudden. Like this, just because you have two star power players up front on billions of quid a week, then it's not going to really equal results straight away.
I don't think. I'm not saying I don't think they can't finance both players.
Legally, they can't.
What I'm saying is, though, on top of that as well, is Real Madrid, Haaland and Mbappe won't be the solution to their overall problem. They will need to buy players in other positions because they've got aging players and an aging squad. Are they meant to fund other star players around their team on top of Mbappe and Haaland? I just think it's too crazy, even for Real Madrid's levels. But now, listen, in terms of us, we want to talk about City and where we stand with Erling Haaland. The figures are suggested. Like I said, we've offered him something like 50 million a year. We don't know of any official offers to Haaland, but this guy told me hairdo. I know it's a crazy name. He's big on some City transfer forums, and I don't even know what platform. Is it Reddit or something?
It's Blue Moon Farm, so it's just like a random forum.
Yeah, so the Blue Moon Forum, he is someone who apparently for a long time has talked about City transfers. Apparently he's got a lot of stuff right. I don't know, has he got anything wrong? But as of this morning, he has said in concrete that Erling has said yes. That is the quote. Erling has said yes, obviously insinuating that Haaland has agreed to a City contract. Now, do I believe this wholeheartedly? No, because I've never heard of this guy my whole entire life. It's just, for me, it's just like taking information off someone on football Twitter. Do I get excited? Yes, because I think there's quite a few components in this conversation. Cancelo's just signed a new deal. Bernardo was on the brink of signing a new deal. James McAtee's just signed a new deal. Is this all building up to the ultimate Pep is going to sign a new deal? And does that tie in with an agreement with Haaland? Has Haaland spoken to Pep and Pep has said, I'm staying? Has Pep spoken to Bernardo and Cancelo and said, I'm staying, so they're happy to sign new contracts? I don't believe Bernardo and Cancelo would sign new contracts, or McAtee, if Pep wasn't staying, particularly McAtee, because he's so young, he'll want to get off and join a proper project and spend time there. Probably Bernardo as well. I mean, he's one of the best players in the world. I couldn't see him staying willingly in a place that he wanted to leave in the summer unless Pep Guardiola was guaranteed staying. I think the build-up and the pinnacle to this is that Pep will stay. That's my opinion. And we'll, of course, do a video on this, on the whole Pep contract situation down the line. But I think this ties into the Haaland thing. I don't think Haaland would come to City unless he was given a personal guarantee from Pep that Pep will be there and he'll be extending. What do you think?
I'm going to suspend my answer properly until the video comes out, right?
Well, what I'm saying makes sense. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. But I think if this is true, which probably isn't for the time being, it could still happen, of course, but this Tommy Tardo fella, again, he was big around the Kane thing. I remember he was saying that apparently we had agreed properly with Kane and we're on the brink of Tottenham and all, but like you said before the video, everybody got the thing with Tottenham wrong. Everyone expected them to accept it. But that's not to say it's not wrong now. That's not to say it's not right now either. You know what I mean? It can go either way. But it is all pointing to, at the moment, with the news that's come out over the past, 4 days at this stage, it's all pointing to Pep re-signing, Haaland being happy with that and going for it. Obviously, you said the Portuguese boys, they're going to want to be part of the project. I think we said this either on the streamer video, Pep's the biggest pull at the minute. If those two are re-signing, I think they know he's staying. I think he's going to stay at the end of the day, right? I will no longer suspend the answer. He will probably stay. and that'll be more valuable than anything we can buy, in my opinion.
You're right, mate. The biggest pull is Pep Guardiola, and I actually personally now, I hate to say it, I don't think Haaland would come if Pep wasn't saying. I think Pep is Haaland's biggest pull. I know his dad is an open admirer of Pep Guardiola. We know Haaland is an open admirer of Pep Guardiola. And my guess is if there is a contract agreed or something, Haaland has said yes. Once again, the quote from Tommy, I assume it's because Pep has agreed to stay. And I think if all this is true, that Madrid cannot work a Haaland deal because of this Mbappe deal they have going, I'm putting Barca out of the equation for the second. No disrespect to Barca. I'm putting them out of the equation. I'm not buying into it. Watch our live stream from Monday night and you'll see all my real thoughts, live in the flesh. But if this is true that Madrid can't get Haaland because of Mbappe, and that all these players are signing for City because Pep is staying, I think we're in the best position we ever have been. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like to get ahead of myself here, and that's the way I am as a person. I have no doubt there will be some further developments over the next few weeks and months that make us feel negative, and all of a sudden Real Madrid are back in the frame and PSG are back in the frame. And don't rule Chelsea out either. Things aren't going well with Lukaku. If he doesn't start scoring, with the ruthlessness of Chelsea Football Club and the way they operate, I could see them coming into the equation in the summertime. I just think that's something that I could see them doing. But I think we're in pole position, as Sky Cave said last week. I think we are in pole position, and this is great news for us as City fans in our pursuit of this big Norwegian mutant. So do leave your thoughts down below on the Barcelona situation, the Real Madrid situation, PSG, Chelsea, and of course the City situation. I think it's an exciting one. We will continue to cover it whenever anything comes out worth covering. Leave your thoughts down below, and do us a favour as well. Please leave a like in the video. It really, really helps us. And subscribe if you're new yourself. We're on the road to 1.5k. Good night and God bless.